Okay, so we're live again.
We're live again, Patty. Or can anybody who's on, can you write in there? You can hear us or not? I think you probably can hear us now. It looks like. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I moved to chat.
Oh.
We're good. So we're hoping that this solved the issue.
So please let us know if you cannot hear us.
So let me even type.
Okay.
Oh, hello. Hi. All right. So can you hear us now is what I typed.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of see if anybody is able to join us for our fabulous, informative.
And your camera's much better.
Oh boy. It's kind of, let's see if we've got anybody.
Oh, Patty is, a few people here. Patty, can you? She might be just away.
Yeah. So, but it does look like sound is working now,
Okay.
according to the little green lights.
Yeah, but the little green light was going on before. So
I know.
where did we leave off?
Well, we could just start again with all of our fabulous wisdom that we were
We
sharing.
definitely apologize for that. Technology. Okay, so here's a good example. No,
It'll fix.
Okay, so here's a good example for, of a daily life issue. We might as well bring it into real life, right?
Let's bring it in.
And, the first thing is we sent this out to a lot of people. There was a lot of people on. Yes, we could just freak out, panic, and just want to go cry and put our head in the sand. Well, you know what? Yeah, like you.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is why we have to change our mindset, because we're all humans, and we're dealing with technology. We're dealing with life.
Mm-hmm.
And life just kicks us in the shins all the time, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be self-worth, whether it be, whatever. The thing is that we're acknowledging the fact that we had difficulties here. And these difficulties were challenging and frustrating to us because nobody could hear us. But yet, if you change your mindset and say, you know what, it's nothing, it was out of our control.
Mm-hmm.
It was totally out of our control. But we also just changed the mindset. I choose to not let this bother me. I choose to move forward because there are more people online and they were waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's a good example for life in general, that stuff happens all the time. So we definitely need to remember to change mindset. And I think if we can get that in our head and our brain, like when things happen or if we're feeling stuck, that we just need to shift. We need to shift our minds. We need to shift our moods to get us unstuck. Because we were chatting about that earlier where nobody could hear us.
Yeah, nobody knows what we're talking about. But we were having a really great conversation about being stuck.
Yeah.
And about what you can do to get unstuck. And one of the first things that Patricia was talking about was acknowledging that you have issues and that there are things going on that are blocking you. Because if we don't look at those things, then we're not going to be able to get anywhere.
Right. And I think I had the analogy is that we all have baggage, right? We all have suitcases.
Oh, yeah, that's what this over here.
That's what that was.
Suitcase.
This was a suitcase over here. We had a suitcase full of stuff that sometimes we just don't unpack. I know, for example, I go all over the place. I'm like a little gypsy sometimes, and I got my suitcase. But sometimes you just got to unpack and take out those shoes and things that maybe trade them out and different things and acknowledge the fact, those are my flip-flops there. Or this is my self-worth in there. I need to change this and rethink and pull it out and acknowledge the fact I have issues.
Mm-hmm.
And but a lot of us don't. And I've noticed that with a lot of my friends, and I have a cat here on my lap, which is pretty cool. A lot of my friends that they're just, they're kind of on a hamster wheel and they're not ready, maybe. And maybe that's it. Maybe people aren't ready to acknowledge the fact that they may have an issue with self-worth, or that they're stuck, or maybe they know they're stuck, but they just don't think it has anything to do what's in the past. Would that be better?
Well, I think that can be it.
Yeah.
They just don't, because we're so caught up on putting on the tough face, or, just charging through, because that's what we do. We don't even acknowledge that when we do get stuck, it's related to those things.
Right.
I think it could also be too that people aren't ready. Not everybody's ready. That
is true. And I think, it took me a long time to be ready. But I think, unfortunately, if you can start thinking, oh, I want to be ready, because our life is not that long. I mean, we have a short time on this earth, and I kind of wish I had really acknowledged myself a little younger. Mm-hmm. And then it's not so much acknowledging, it's just taking the time to sit with myself. Because what happens is, I think, is we have our daily lives keeps us going. We're picking up kids. We're picking up, we're going to work. We have spouses or significant others, and we're just doing. And we never have time, or we never take the time to stop and actually think about, what is my problem? So I think in my last video, and I sent out to the members, was, even if you have to go to the bathroom and close the door where you're actually alone and nobody can bother you, I mean, you can just say, hey, I'm going to be in here for a while. Trust me, that won't bother you. It's just a place to go. Because sometimes you say, oh, I'm going to go for a walk. Well, what's wrong? People go, what's wrong? And then you go, oh, nothing. Then you don't go, and then you're not taking care of yourself again. So you've got to figure out a time or a place so that you can just be, so you can start thinking about yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the difficult part for people, is, when do I have the time? Well, you got to make the time. Yeah, even if it's a minute, right?
Yes. And when you start making that time, things start falling into place better.
Absolutely. I agree. So if you can just make that time, even like I said, we're not going to change the world in one day. We're not going to change our self-worth in one day. Trust me, it took me years to get that bad self-worth and a low self-esteem. But it's also, once I acknowledged the fact that I had this low self-esteem and self-worth and all this stuff that happened to me, because you didn't hear before, because when I was raped or difficult things happened to me, I just put that in that suitcase and just put it away. And I didn't want to acknowledge it. I just thought, oh, it'll just go away. Unfortunately, it didn't go away. And so everything I would try and do, I couldn't move forward. I couldn't keep going. So it's so important. If you're feeling stuck, and now you're like, wow, I feel stuck. I don't know what to do. What do I go? You got to make time. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I think it's serious. You have to make time.
And I think that's one of the cool things about being a Life's Cheerleader member.
Yes.
Is that all of you that are members of Life's Cheerleader, you have made that commitment to yourself, and you've made that commitment to make a little bit of time. This month on Life's Cheerleader, we've been doing the gratitude challenge.
Right.
And I just love seeing everybody come in and post their gratitude, because it's building a habit for us, but it's taking a couple of minutes each day to say, I'm going to focus on myself for a minute here. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a selfish focus, like I'm going to focus on fixing my eyebrows.
Which isn't a bad thing either, by the way.
No, that's not even a selfish focus.
No.
But if it's focusing internally.
Right.
And so I'm going to focus on things that I'm grateful for and building my spirit up while I'm going through the day. And we had one person mention how much doing this activity, going through and sharing gratitude each day, set the mindset for the day, and how excited they were that that was where they were coming from. And I just loved that.
Yeah. And I think it's because people aren't used to changing things, but in order to change things, you do have to create a habit. And this was one of the purposes of this gratitude challenge, or any kind of a challenge, is creating a habit. Because if you can create just a simple habit for a minute a day to go in and be grateful for something, because it takes a minute, maybe 2 minutes, sign in, go in. but you've created a habit. And I know that some people in there definitely have said, gosh, it's just actually making me realize that I've got to create habits. It's actually changing my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that 1 minute there, and then you can start doing a minute over here again for yourself. Gosh, taking a whole 5 minutes a day for yourself.
I know.
How selfish is that, right? But if that 5 minutes can turn into really changing how you think and what you choose to do every day, you don't think that that's going to help other people too? I know when I choose to be grateful and I go in and create habits, I'm actually a better person to my significant other, my friends.
Mm-hmm. You're better to be around.
I could have been a bitch, excuse my French. I mean, but because I'm more calm,
Mm-hmm.
it calms you, and
Mm-hmm.
life just makes you so crazy that by taking a few minutes a day and taking care of yourself, that's not selfish at all.
No, it's not. And like we had technical difficulties here today. We both could have been really upset, but we know we have so much to be grateful for.
Exactly.
And so I think this habit that we've been building has really been, it makes us more fun to be around. It makes us calmer in everything that we're doing. We just kind of can laugh at stuff a little bit.
Yeah, because I think sometimes we do take life a little bit too seriously, and and these things that happen to us during the day. I mean, because don't you have lots of stuff happen to you just every day, like little things that just make you crazy, and you use the bad words, and you do this, you stomp your feet, and that doesn't help you. But it's amazing when you are grateful, and when you start focusing a few minutes on yourself a day, you actually become calmer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when things happen, like your kids make you crazy, or your cat's running around, or something like this, or chewing on things, or the dog's chewing on things, instead of going and you're like, okay, the dog's chewing on things. How do I choose to deal with this? I mean, it's a different mindset again.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, I always think I'm just continually saying the same thing all the time. But again, it's a habit, right? And then we have cats that enjoy us.
Yes.
But, it's a habit again. And I feel like sometimes I'm just beating on that habit thing. But gosh, it works. It really works. And if you guys that are on here are feeling so stuck, then you're here because you want to make a change. Mm-hmm. And to make a change, you got to step out just a little bit, even if it's just for a minute a day. Getting on this, you took a few minutes of your life to maybe hear something else that could work for you, that could another choices that you could do. Because you know what? All this is just choices. Mm-hmm. I and myself and Christine, we can't make you do anything. I mean, I would love to okay, this is how it's gonna work, and this is what you're gonna do. It doesn't work like that. I remember people tried to do that to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, you can't make me do that. There's just no way. Mm-hmm. I actually had to figure it out myself. And once I really did it in my 50s, unfortunately, it's my 50s. But I'm so grateful because I figured it out, right?
Yeah, some people never do.
Good point. Mm-hmm. So I'm so grateful that I actually learned to take a few minutes for myself and be grateful and be more self-reflective. And now I am taking that self-worth that I didn't have any for so long. It was in that baggage and all that stuff that was causing me to not move forward in certain areas of my life. Now I'm moving forward. And I think that's the key here. So we're practicing what we preach. Mm-hmm. We are doing and I think when people talk about things, it's really because we're also learning ourselves. I mean, we're constantly learning.
They say that the best way to learn something is to teach it.
Right. And you are a teacher.
So, we are kind of stepping out and doing that. And those of you that know me from Know My Worth, you know that that's why I started that page and that journey and that blog. It wasn't that I knew my worth perfectly. It was that I know it's a journey and I don't need to do it alone. And I didn't have to be perfect in order to help other people. And so Patricia,
thank God.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. But it was kind of like an epiphany, because people always think, oh, you've got to be this expert. You've got to do that. No, you don't. You have to be you, and you have to be willing to acknowledge when your suitcase is still full.
Yeah.
And
trust me, I still have stuff in my suitcase. I keep pulling it out, trying to check it out.
I've got extra travel bags.
Yeah.
What are those? Like those space savers?
Oh yeah,
vacuum
vacuum.
Yeah, there's a few of those in there still. I'm not ready to get to those. Mm-mm.
See, we are a work in progress ourselves. So,
Yeah.
but we're okay with that.
Mhm.
We're not perfect. The thing is, but there's a lot of other people that are really stuck, and I think that we can truly help them start moving past some of these things. Again, you're not going to get it all done in one day or a week or ever, but as long as you start unpacking and removing some of that baggage, then you're going to have that flight to freedom.
Yeah.
Honestly. And there was a quote I did, and there was, you have a flight to freedom and you can land in the valley of change.
Oh.
And there's nothing better than changing in your life and then choosing all these great things that started to happen to me. I know. I mean, when I started opening up and realizing that the self-worth and the self that I have and the confidence now, it's amazing. There's been some things that I've done on some of these crazy little trailers that we have. I never would have done that 10 years ago. You wouldn't have gotten me to put some funny glasses on. You wouldn't have gotten me to do a rap song. But now I have more confidence because, now it's okay. It's me. It's just being your unique self, which makes you beautiful. And, because we all are beautiful, and you guys out there are awesome. We love you. And we just want to help you and support you. This is what we do on these questions and answers. And I know we're doing more, talking.
Yeah. Well, I think that's due to our technical difficulties.
Right. But I know there was a couple people that wanted to, the big question was unstuck. And the thing is that unstuck is a very broad topic. But the thing is, it's broad and yet narrow in a weird way, because it's very broad because there's so many places that we can be stuck. And so we just have to remember to try to work on, you make a list of what's your most important one that you want to get unstuck with.
Yeah.
That's what did it for me, is I had to make a decision. Okay, I want my business or my friendships or my relationships, I want to get unstuck in those particular ones and make a choice, work on those. And then, you go to then pull out that next little bag.
Yeah.
And
the cool thing about when you are stuck is that there are tricks that work no matter what kind of stuck you're in, and it's a big part of it is breaking it down into the steps into steps, basically, bottom line.
Right.
Like you get
Baby
you get overwhelmed and you feel stuck and you don't know what the first step is going to be,
right?
What all the steps are going to be. And that's a big part of it. Like, you think you have to know all the steps. You don't have to know all the steps. You just have to know what's the step that I'm going to take today that will improve my life, that will get me on that path or on that track that I can see or that I want for myself. Exactly.
And again, to get on that step, and I think we've been talking about the whole time, is acknowledging the fact that you have, only acknowledge one issue. We don't need to acknowledge all of them. But, so maybe we just acknowledge one issue.
All right, that'll be our goal. We only need to have one.
Yeah, let's just acknowledge one issue. Okay? And then take that issue and we break it down.
All right.
Okay? Because I think that's what overwhelms people. Because I know I had a whole baggage of issues. So if I started pulling them all out, I was like, I can't do this. I got way too many issues to start with. So you have to just take one at a time.
Right.
It's baby steps.
I will acknowledge that I have more than one, but I will only talk about one.
Totally. No, I completely agree that we have more than one issue. All right. I'm acknowledging that too. I'm just saying we're working on one at a time.
One at a time.
But that's because otherwise, if I have to work. It's kind of like multitasking in some ways. You know how some people are really good at multitasking and others aren't? They can only do one thing at a time.
Anybody who says they are.
I know. Well, they think they are.
Exactly.
And so you really just need to take that one multitask or issue, pull it out of that bag, look at it, go, okay, I got this little issue, like a little cat or something. Work on that little issue and say, I'm going to deal with this, and I'm going to deal with this for the next few weeks, and work on it.
Mhm.
And we're at Life's Cheerleader are here to support you. I mean, this is one of the reasons we made this a live questionnaire for lots of different people, because we really wanted you to know that there are people out there that care.
Mhm.
You're not alone. We have issues. We all know that you all have issues, even though you may not acknowledge them yet. But that we're here to help you and support you, and there's no judgment. That's what's so great about this,
Mhm.
is that I think so many people think that they're going to be judged
Oh, sure.
on having issues and
Well,
having
because
stuff.
the world does that. The world judges you for everything, even just like the clothes you put on this morning. There's constant criticism. And so it's hard to imagine a safe place
Exactly.
where people aren't going to criticize you, or you can be vulnerable without somebody turning around and using it.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about Life's Cheerleader.
Right. Because it is a safe place, and it's a place you can just feel comfortable, and because we get it. It's like I've said this lots of times, but we've been there. Been there, done that, got that t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And so we acknowledge the fact that we have lots of stuff going on, but we get it. And we want you to know that you're not alone, because I think that's a big deal for people. They just really feel, oh my God, you don't understand. You've not been through this. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Between the two of us, oh yeah, we've been through it,
Yeah.
So it's really, really important for that. So,
and one of the things that we want to keep doing with Life's Cheerleader members is we have different areas within the site where you can share your thoughts. We have the gratitude, which we've already been talking about, but there's also a daily pep chat area, and there's a class, or there's
Every
an
month.
area for the class every month. And so that's what those classes every month are for. They're meant to help you grow, maybe help you work on that one little issue that you're ready to pull out. And so they have worksheets in them and the forum to talk about it.
Yeah, this last class that we did on the positivity, or highway to positivity, we've had some people in the master class forum that they were like saying there was one lady that said she cried, that she actually realized, wow, you know what, I do have some choices, and I do, I just need to acknowledge. And she was just realizing that, yes, she needed to do that. And that's really what it's about. It's just about maybe having a aha moment, an aha, oh, I have issues, or aha, I need to fix this, or maybe I need to work on this. And knowing that it's okay.
And having support to do that, because in the pep chat area is like for any topic.
Questions, yeah.
And so there's somebody in there right now talking about working out.
Yes.
And coming in and getting support every day. Like, I'm going to work out today. I'm going to go for my walk.
Right.
And we just all cheer her on.
It's like, okay, we'll see you in there tomorrow after you do your workout.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like constant coaching.
Yeah.
And with topics that you get to choose, or topics that are
on top of mind for what's going on. Because I think for Christmas, what are we doing?
Our class is on some self-care.
That's right. We're doing for December, because we're just finishing up with our Positivity Highway, but we're doing for the December one, we're doing self-care class.
Happy, healthy holidays.
Yes, because we know how stressful they can be.
And so we're going to spend time in Life's Cheerleader supporting each other through those stressful times, and making sure that we set boundaries and that we take care of ourselves through that process. And that taking care of ourselves, even our eyebrows, is not selfish.
No, none of it's selfish. You know what? Honestly, it's what makes you feel good. Like for me, I've always been one of those ones that what makes me feel good is getting up in the morning, doing the hair, putting that makeup on, and putting my lipstick on. Now, most other women would be like, oh, that's just way too much work. But for me, it makes me feel good. And when I feel good about myself, it's like a positive image, it all takes, it all works together.
It does.
That's why we call Life's Cheerleader the portal to a positive self-image, because really it's making you feel better in all areas of your life, not just mental, not just physical, not just on the outside. It's inside. It's the whole thing. We want you to be the whole package, or as much of a package as we can be, right? Nothing is perfect, but we want you to be the best that you can be, that you feel good. And it's not what I think, it's how you feel. And we're just here to help you along that route to make you feel better, because I love helping others. That's, to me, I've always done it all my life, and I enjoy it. I get emotional about it. Even when people are putting things in the forums, it's like, oh, I just want to give them all virtual hugs, and I swear to God, one of these days I'm going to figure out a way to do that. We're going to be able to walk into Life's Cheerleader, and you're going to feel these little arms go around you. Wouldn't that be cool? No, it's like
it'd be really
games.
cool.
It'd be like the games, they have games through this Life Cheerleader game.
Yeah, okay. It'll be like a
okay. Everybody now knows I'm a little nutty, but we all knew that anyway, didn't we?
No, we just saw one of my issues actually.
Oh, that's right. That's your issue.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
See, we have some things to work on. Gotta get it out of that suitcase. Anyway, we also have a lot of fun, and you know what? That's what it's also about. A lot of people, self-help, self-places, or people are very, very serious. And it is a serious, everything is serious. I like the face. It's very serious, and it is a serious thing. But you know what? We've been through serious stuff. I've had so much crap happen to me. It's definitely serious, and there's nothing to laugh about. But I got to also put that back over here, and also know that to move forward, you got to have some smiles on your face. You got to have a little fun and enjoy life. Be a little crazy, a little nutty. Bring out that inner fun cheerleader or that little crazy person in there. We all have one. I've seen people, but it does come out sometimes. And it's when it makes them feel good and alive, especially when you can laugh and enjoy, because what do they say about having fun and laughing and enjoying it? It makes your mental it creates a much better, healthy mental stability.
Oh, sure.
Just having fun, enjoying life, and being happy. It sounds so trite, I guess, or whatever it is. It's you're the teacher. I don't know if that's the right word. Sounds so something.
Yeah, that was a good word.
Was that a good word? Cool.
Yeah.
She's rubbing off on me, this teacher. But it's just it sounds corny,
and it sounds easy to say.
Yeah. And just be happy, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'll be happy. But there are things that we can actually do to make ourselves happier.
Yeah. And
we can choose happiness. And so we just have to keep practicing it.
Yeah.
And humor is a big part of that. I don't know what I would do if I didn't laugh every day.
Well, and we laugh all the time. I've been having a good time just doing this. I mean, I think this is a hoot. It's fun, and so we want to have fun at Life's Cheerleader too. So hopefully we can help you along the way and give you support, and that's the key. So I think that's probably a good start.
Yeah, I think with our technical difficulties and our lighting issues, our current lighting issues, my eyes are very dark.
Well, it's Northwest. We feel like we're almost in Alaska. It's dark here at 3 p.m. So it's like,
what are we gonna do?
I know. It's one of those things that, we work on things and we get better.
I know.
And that's what it's all about. We're not perfect, but you know what? Each time we improve.
Yeah.
And that's all we can do, right?
Yep.
All right. So
I hope that for you too.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is there?
Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
And by the way, I'm Christine Morgan. And this is Patricia Love.
Oh, that's right.
Because our intro is in the silent video.
That's right. We wanted to do I always wanted to do a silent movie.
You know what? Maybe we'll use that silent movie and we can dub stuff.
Like wouldn't that be a hoot?
We'll use that.
That would be pretty. We'll do that as an outtake. But you're right. We've been sitting here for the last 45 minutes. You have no idea who we are.
Well, we'll make sure to put our names in the.
Well, I'm Patricia Love, Life's Cheerleader.
And I'm Christine Morgan of Worth and Wisdom.
And together, we're lifecheerleader.com.
Yes, we are.
Anyway, we're just so happy to be here. So happy you joined us. And so we'll just talk real soon. Okay?
Have a safe and happy holiday.
Yes. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye now.
Well, maybe not.